Hi students, welcome to my channel. Myself is Vedamurthy. This is related to chemistry class 11, unit 4 and the part 6 in chemical bonding and molecular structure. Today we will going to deal about the valence bond theory and overlap concept, orbital overlap concept, directional properties of bonds, overlapping of atomic orbitals, and the types of overlapping and nature of the covalent bonds, a sigma bond and pi bond. And at the last, we'll also deal about the strength of the sigma and pi bonds. Now let us continue the video. So what is valence bond theory? Students, we know that Levy's approach helps in writing the structure of molecules, but the Levy's concept, is fails to explain the formation of chemical bond, and it also does not give any reason for the differences in bond dissociation, enthalpies, and bond lengths in the molecule. See, for example, hydrogen H2, we having the 435.8 kilojoule per mole is nothing but 74 picometer, and fluorine F2 155 kilojoule per mole, that is 144 picometer. Although in both the cases a single covalent bond is formed by sharing of an electron pair between the respective atoms, so it also gives no idea about the shapes of the polyatomic molecules. Similarly, in the VSEPR theory, VSEPR theory, that is, gives the geometry of the simple molecules, but theoretically it does not explain thus about the geometry or shape of the molecule. Also, it has limited applications. To overcome these limitations, the two important theories based on the quantum mechanical principles are introduced. So those are a valence bond theory and molecular orbital theory. So we can come across from this valence bond theory as introduced by the Hilton and Condon in 1927, and they developed further by Pauling and others. The discussion of the valence bond theory is based on the knowledge of the atomic orbitals or electronic configuration of the elements. The overlap criteria of the atomic orbitals in valence bond theory and the hybridization of the atomic orbitals and the principles of the variation and superposition. So, a rigorous treatment of the valence bond theory in terms of these aspects is beyond the scope of this class, means 11th class. Maybe in upper classes we can study about in detail. Okay, so therefore, for the sake of the convenience, a valence bond theory has been discussed in terms of the qualitative and non-mathematically treatment only. To start with this, let us consider the formation of the hydrogen molecules, how it is formed. So, which is the very simplest of all the molecules. We consider there are two hydrogen atoms. We consider there are two hydrogen atoms. Okay. So that is A and B. You can call it as A. One hydrogen is A and another hydrogen is B. So, which having the nuclei. So nuclei we can call it as Na and Nb for both hydrogen atom, and they represent electrons in both the hydrogen atoms, that is we can write it as Ea and Eb, right? When these two atoms are at large distance from each other, there is no interaction between them. As these two atoms approach each other, a new attractive and repulsive force given to operate. See, attractive forces arise between the nucleus of one atom and and its own electron. Say that is, we can write it like this: nucleon of one atom attract the nucleon of the, say, electron of the same atom. Okay, same way. So you can write nucleon of the other atoms, that is Nb, and electron of the same atom B. Okay, so this is the nucleus of the one atom and its own electron, that is attracting forces between the two electrons, nucleus and electrons of the same. And another one case is nucleon of one atom and electron of the other atom. So now this in both the cases is same. Now it is different electrons and different neutrons. So Nb attracts Ea and Na attracts Eb. Okay. In the similar respective, repulsive forces arises between the electrons like this repulsive forces, where it will apply. So it is applying Ea and Eb and Na and Nb. Okay, so both the same nucleus having the atoms, both the atoms and nucleus having same, then those spaces, the repulsive forces will be rising. So attractive forces tend to bring the two atoms close to each other. Otherwise, in repulsive forces, they will push each other apart from one to one. Okay. Experimentally, so we can see this is the one figure. Here the attractive forces are close to 1 to 1. So the dotted line is the old phase forces and the new one is the new forces. So it attracts, whereas in both the atoms are same or both the electrons are same, there the nucleus and electrons, so repulsive forces will occur. So experimentally, it has been found that the magnitude of the new attractive forces is more than the new repulsive forces. As a result, the two atoms approach each other and potential energy decreases. Ultimately, the stage is reached where the net force of the attraction balances the force of the repulsion and system acquires a minimum energy. So at this point, the stage of the two hydrogen atoms are said to be bonded together to form a stable molecule which is having the bond length of 74 picometer. Since the energy gets released when the bond is formed between the two hydrogen atoms, the hydrogen molecule is more stable than that of the isolated hydrogen atoms. So, so this energy is released is called as the bond enthalpy, which is corresponding to minimum in the curve depicted in the following figure. See here, 435.8 kilojoule of energy is required to dissociate 1 mole of the hydrogen atom. Okay, so this is the potential energy of the curve for the formation of hydrogen molecules on the function of the intranuclear distance of the hydrogen atoms and the minimum of the curve which corresponds to the most stable state of the hydrogen two atoms, that is H2. Orbital overlap concept. In the formation of hydrogen molecule, there is a minimum energy state when two hydrogen atoms are so near that their atomic orbitals undergo a partial interpenetration. So this partial merging of the atomic orbital is called overlapping of atomic orbitals. The partial merging of atomic orbitals is called overlapping of atomic orbitals. So, which results in the pairing of electrons. The extent of the overlap decides the strength of the covalent bond. Generally, the greater the overlap, the stronger is the bond formed between the two atoms. Therefore, according to the orbital overlap concept, the formation of a covalent bond between the two atoms results by pairing of the electrons present in the valence shell having the opposite spins. So, directional properties of the bond, as we know already in the previous, the covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of the atomic orbitals. The molecule of the hydrogen is formed due to the overlap of the oneness orbitals of the two hydrogen atoms. In the case of polyatomic molecules, say for example methane, okay, and ammonia and water. These are the polyatomic molecules. In the polyatomic molecules, the geometry of the molecule is also important in addition to the bond formation. For example, why it is so important? The methane molecule has tetrahedral shape and HCH bond angles are 109.5 degree. 109.5 degree. So why the shape of the ammonia molecule is pyramidal? The valence bond theory explains the shape, the formation, and the directional properties of the bonds in polyatomic molecules like ammonia, methane, and water, etc. in the terms of overlap and hybridization of the atomic orbitals. Then, what about the overlapping of atomic orbitals? So, when the orbitals of the two atoms come close to form a bond, their overlap may be positive or negative or zero, which is depending upon the sign or phase and the direction of the orientation of the amplitude of orbital wave function in space. Okay, you can see this positive or in phase overlap, negative or out of the phase overlap. Here, positive and negative sign on boundary surface diagrams shows the sign phase of the orbital wave function and are not related to charge. Orbitals forming bonds should have some same sign or phase and the orientation in the space. So this is called the positive overlap, and the various overlaps of the S and P orbitals are depicted in this figure. See here, CP here, PZ and PZ overlaps, that is positive phase. In the negative phase, PZ and PZ, which is having the different signs. Okay, they are given in the ABC, so they are closing each other, and the zero overlap when it out of the phase. So that is a different orientation in the S and PZ orbitals. So the criteria of the overlap as the main factor for the formation of the covalent bonds applies uniformly to the homonuclear or heteronuclear diatomic molecules and polyatomic molecule also. We know that the shapes of the methane and ammonia and hydrogen molecules are tetrahedral, pyramidal, and bent respective. So it would be therefore intersecting to use a valence band theory to find out if these geometrical shapes can be explained in the terms of the orbital overlap. So let us consider methane, CH4 molecule. Here the electronic configuration of carbon is He 2s2 and 2p2. Okay, so the electronic configuration of carbon in methane is helium 2s2 2p2. 2. So which is the excited in the excited state, the electronic configuration will becomes like this. The electronic configuration, the excited state will become like this: He, okay, 2s1, 2p x1, 2p x1, 2p y1, and 2p z1, 2p z1. Okay. Sorry, 2p z1. Yes. Sorry. 2p z1. So the energy required for this excitation is compensated by the release of the energy due to overlap between the orbitals of the carbon and the hydrogen. The four atomic orbitals of the carbon, each with an unpaired electron, can overlap with 1s orbital of the four hydrogen atoms, so which are singly occupied. So this will result in the formation of the C dash H bond. C dash H bond. So it will, however, observed that while the three p orbitals of the carbon are at 90 degree, carbon at 90 degree, okay, so that is the three CH bonds will be oriented at 90 degree to one another. The 2s orbital of the carbon and the 1s orbital of hydrogen are spherically symmetrical and they can overlap in any direction. Therefore, the direction of the fourth C-H bond cannot be ascertained. So this description does not fit it with the tetrahedral HCH angles of the 109.5 degree. So clearly it follows that the simple atomic orbital overlap, it does not account for the directional characteristics of the bonds in methane. Using the similar procedure and the arguments, it can be seen that in the case of ammonia and water molecules, the HNH and HOH angles, see, HNH and HOH angles are 90 degree. So this is the disagreement with the axial bond angles of the 107 degree and 104.5 degree in the ammonia and water molecules respectively. Now, so what are the types of the overlapping and nature of the covalent bonds? Here there are the covalent bond may be classified into two types, so which are depending upon the types of the overlapping: sigma bond overlapping and pi bond overlapping. So sigma bond overlapping, that is always sigma is represented like this and pi bond is represented like this. Okay, so now in the sigma bond is a type of the covalent bond which is formed by the end to end or head on overlap of bonding orbitals along the internuclear axis. So this is called as head on overlap or axial overlap. So this can be formed by any one of the following types of the combinations of atomic orbitals, either S dash S overlapping or S dash P overlapping or P dash P overlapping. So look at this one. So this is the S dash S overlapping. Here there is a overlap of the two half-filled hydrogen s orbital along the internuclear axis on the other. So this is S dash S overlapping. And secondly, S dash P overlapping is the overlaps occurs between the half-filled s orbital and of one atom and half-filled p orbital of the another atom. So this is one. So this is S dash P overlapping. And the third one is P dash P overlapping. P-P overlapping is takes place between the half-filled p orbital of the two approaching atoms. Okay, so this is half-filled, half-filled P-P overlapping. So now pi bond. What is pi bond? Pi bond, in the formation of the pi bond, the atomic orbitals overlap in such a way that their axis remains parallel to each other and perpendicular to the internuclear axis. The orbitals formed due to the sidewise overlapping consists of the two saucer, a type of the charged clouds above and below the plane of the participating atoms, like this. Like this. This is the P-P overlapping in pi bond. See, lastly, the strength of the sigma and pi bonds are basically the strength of sigma bond depends upon the, or any bond depends upon the extent of the overlapping, how much is overlapping. So in case of sigma bond, the overlapping of orbitals takes place to a larger extent since it is stronger as compared to pi bond. In the pi bond, the extent of overlapping occurs to a very small extent. So further, it is very important to note that in the formation of the multiple bonds between the two hydrogen atoms of a molecule, pi bond or bonds is formed in addition to the sigma bond. I'll end this video with this one. I hope all the students are watch this video, and thanks for watching this video.